Hi, my name is Linda Alberhasky, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this little star ornament. I've been quilting for about 20 years, and so I've really enjoyed my time with learning new things. And my daughter Sloan is involved with the Historical Society, and so she asked me to help you to learn how to make some ornaments. And so today we're going to make this little ornament. So let's begin. In your star ornament kit, you should have two pieces of fabric, a light fabric and a dark fabric. The lighter fabric will be pre-marked for you on the shape of a pentagram, and that's what's going to be our sewing line today. So what I like to do is to take some pins and just pin them together. They're going to be right sides together, and we're going to pin a couple places all the way around just so that our fabric won't shift when we're sewing. And we're going to sew directly on the marked line, but one of the sides we're going to leave open a couple of inches so that we can turn this right side out when we're done. So we'll take it to our sewing machine. And start at one corner. You might want to back stitch a little bit, just to hold the stitches in place. When you get to a corner, just pivot and continue to sew. When you get about 2 or 3 inches, stop sewing, back stitch a little bit, and we've got it sewn. Depending on how your kit is, you can trim off after you're done, maybe between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and get rid of all the excess fabric. And then you can turn it right side out. You can use like the point of your scissors or something else with a knife point to poke the fabric to make sure that your points are all good. So it looks like this. Okay, at this point, we're going to take it to the sewing machine, or to take it to the iron, and we're going to iron down both sides to make sure that everything's nice and flat. Okay, once we've gotten back from the ironing board and we've ironed both sides down so they're flat, and we've got this little bit where we've turned it right side out. So I'm going to close that opening a little bit so that our pieces stay together. So I just took a regular sewing needle and a piece of thread, and then I'm going to do just kind of a little bit of a blind stitch there to stitch these two pieces together and hide that opening. And don't worry if things look backward. I sew left-handed. So if you go the opposite way, don't worry that you're not matching what I'm doing. And then just go in a couple of times at the end, kind of notch your thread off. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to mark another pentagram on the top. And to do this, we're going to find the center of each piece. These look like they measure at 3.5 inches. And we'll mark each center first. And you can either use a fabric marker if you want, or you can just use a pencil, because these marks are going to be hidden. You're never going to see them. Once you've got your marks, just take your ruler and connect the dots. Just like that. And those lines are going to be used as marking tools to fold on these lines. And we're going to fold our points into the center. You can take a pin to hold them in place. Looks just like that. Okay, next we're going to take it back to the sewing machine and we're going to sew down each of these points so that they stay in place. And after you've trimmed all your threads, you have your ornament. What I do next is I usually take a piece of ribbon. I like to cut a 7-inch piece of ribbon, fold it in half, and then just tack it to the back. And then you've got your hanger for your ribbon. And that's how we make the star ornament. Hi, my name is Linda Alberhasky. I've been quilting for about 20 years now, and today we're going to learn how to make this little poinsettia ornament. My daughter Sloan is with the Historical Society, and she decided that we needed some help making this ornament today, so I'm going to walk you through how to make this ornament. So let's begin. Okay, for this ornament, we're going to take 2 pieces of fabric, right sides together, and on the top one, I drew a circle, roughly an 8-inch circle. I ended up using just a plate because you get a nice circle to just draw around your plate. So once you've got it marked, we're going to sew on the line, and we're going to leave about 2 inches unsewn so that we can turn it right sides out when we're done. And once you've got your circle sewn, we're going to trim between like a 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch around everything. Once they're trimmed, you can just turn it right side out. You want to make sure you get everything, your seams all out. You need to take like a scissors or a purple fang to make sure that you get everything kind of smoothed around your circle. And then we're going to take this to the iron and we're going to press both sides down flat. Okay, after we've got both sides pressed down nice and flat, we're going to sew up that little hole that we used to turn our pieces around. And as I said on the last video, I'm left-handed, so I sew left-handed, so don't worry if you're not sewing exactly how I do. Okay, I got it sewed up. No need to cut off your thread, because what we're going to do now is we're going to take our circle and fold it into quarters so that we can find the centers. So we know this is one center. I'm going to mark it with a pin. And I'm going to mark the other two centers with pins as well. Okay, so where these two centers meet, I'm going to take my sewing needle and I'm going to tack the circle together right at that center point. Okay, and then we're going to bring the other two needles together and match them up where they meet. Good, I won't have to cut this off. And I'm going to tack these two together right at the center. So we've got this tacked, we've got our little dog ears here. We're just going to flip the corners around. And you'll kind of have to play with it a little bit to get it square. And to lay flat on you. just takes a little playing around to get your corners just how you want them. And get everything to lay down flat for you. And then after that, if you want to take it back to the ironing board and press it a little bit to get it a little bit more flatter, you can do that. Okay, so I just came back and I pressed it a little bit flatter so that our poinsettia is nice and flat. And what we're going to do next is we're going to put a gold button into the center. Get a little gold button on, and then I've got a piece of ribbon about 7 inches long, and I just fold it in half. Tack it just a little bit together. And then you can sew it onto your ornament. You can either do it straight on or you can do it on point if you like. And that is your poinsettia ornament.